Our stronghold endures an attack.
I expected to lament all the ways that Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 3 wasn't Dawn of War 2 when I sat down to play it, but thankfully that wasn't the case. Sure, the zoomed out camera and lower per model detail makes it a bit less immersive than its prequel, but what it lacks in terms of presentation, it makes up in scale and depth of gameplay. Dawn of War 3's battles are big. Even a mid-sized skirmish is larger and more layered than the biggest fights you'd see in Dawn of War 2. The larger population cap means more units on screen and a wider variety of units participating in any given battle. Speaking of unit variety, based solely on my time with the Space Marines, there are definitely more tools in the toolbox. Some of that is because there are now separate units for different loadouts, rather than buying a base unit and customizing it, like with the two versions of Devastator and Scout Squads, but that's also because there's more vehicles and armored units in general. The Predator Destructor wipes out infantry and light armor with its main autocannon and side-mounted heavy bolters, while the Predator Annihilator bristles with las cannons, making it more suited to engaging enemy heavy armor. Land speeders are quick, deadly to enemy infantry, and capable of crossing gaps and other types of impassable terrain. Dreadnoughts make their return, of course, and finally, the Whirlwind acts as a sort of stand-in for the Company of Heroes Katusha. While it lacks any direct attacks, its rocket salvos can fire every 30 seconds, laying waste to wide swaths of enemy units from extreme long range. None of that is counting any of the armored elite units, which are sort of a mix between Dawn of War 2's commanders and global abilities. You'll pick 3 from a pool of possible choices to take into battle. In the mission I played, 2 of those were also heavily armored units, an Assault Terminator squad and the Titan-esque Imperial Knight Solaria, who towers over every other unit on the battlefield. Along with Chapter Master Gabriel Angelos, these elites have abilities that not only turn the tide of battle, but have interesting nuances and interactions to learn and exploit. As you'd expect, Assault Terminators can teleport directly into an enemy formation's back line and wreak havoc. Gabriel is capable of creating an AoE barrier that temporarily blocks incoming enemy fire, and leaping great distances, sending groups of foes reeling with his Godhammer. Using the Godhammer sparingly can be highly beneficial though, since refraining from using it can actually make his other abilities more powerful over time. Solaria is the best example, however. With every attack, she builds up heat, and when she finally overheats, all of her attacks deal 25% more damage, she moves slower, and her special abilities gain new properties. The cooldown on her missile salvo is variable depending on how many of her 6 missiles you fire off, and any kills against elites or vehicles lower those cooldowns considerably. But for as powerful as she can be, if she gets tied up in melee, she can't do much else until she's dealt with her attackers. Another nice tactical wrinkle comes in the form of Space Marine drop pods, which can be loaded with just about any unit. Once ready, you can deep strike them anywhere you have line of sight. It makes a great 1-2 punch with stealthy Scout Marines, who can infiltrate enemy territory undetected and then call down a drop pod right on an unsuspecting enemy's head. You can even load up a drop pod with a bunch of automated heavy bolters to cleanse a large area of enemy threats. The combination of drop pods, along with the wider variety of vehicles and the nuanced, powerful nature of elite abilities, has made the Space Marines much more interesting to me than I usually find them. I can't wait to see what Relic does with the other 2 factions. For more on Dawn of War 3, stay right here on IGN.